In 2023, someone inside the Pentagon picked up the phone and called the fraud hotline. The tip? Check what the Air Force is paying Boeing for spare parts on the C-17 transport jet. So government auditors pulled the invoices and started comparing prices. Most parts were specialized, military grade, hard to price, and then they got to the soap dispensers, the ones in the aircraft lavatory. The auditors found a commercially available dispenser. Same function, same job. Boeing's price, an 80 times markup, 7,943%. It's printed in the audit report, next to a photograph of the two dispensers side by side. You're watching BBTV Intelligence Briefing. Today's question: why does the world's best-funded military keep paying 80 times retail for bathroom hardware? And why is almost none of it illegal? The report is DODIG 2025-009, published by the Pentagon's own Inspector General. Auditors sampled 46 C-17 spare parts bought between 2018 and 2022. 12 were overpriced. The soap dispensers alone cost the Air Force an extra $149,000. Total questioned costs, nearly $1 million. But the real finding is buried deeper. For 54% of the parts, more than half the sample, the auditors couldn't determine whether the price was fair at all. Why? Because Boeing didn't hand over the cost data. The government's own auditors, auditing the government's own money, could not find out what the government was actually paying for. And the C-17 is one aircraft. In 2021, the Inspector General looked at a company most people have never heard of, TransDigm. 106 spare parts sampled. Excess profit on 105 of them. Margins running as high as 3,850%. When contracting officers asked TransDigm for cost data on 26 parts, the company provided it for 2. If this feels familiar, it's because you've heard the story before, with different props. 1983, the $435 hammer. 1985, the $640 toilet cover for a Navy patrol plane. The scandals were so loud, they helped create the modern Pentagon Inspector General in the first place, and Congress passed reform after reform. Then in 2018, the Air Force admitted it was paying around $10,000 for a toilet seat lid on the C-5 Galaxy. An Air Force official had a replacement 3D printed for about $300. And TransDigm, after the 2019 audit, found $16.1 million in excess profit on 46 of 47 parts. Margins up to 4,400%. Congress held a hearing, and the company handed the money back. Voluntarily. No fine, no charge. 2 years later, the follow-up audit found the same model had produced $21 million more. 1983, a hammer. 1985, a toilet seat. 2024, a soap dispenser. The props change. The invoice doesn't. Here's the machinery underneath. Most of these parts are sole source. One company owns the design, the tooling, or the rights, often for an aircraft designed decades ago. You can't shop around for a C-17 part. There is no second seller. Since 1962, the Truth in Negotiations Act has required contractors to hand over certified cost data, but only above a dollar threshold, and only on certain kinds of contracts. Keep the order small, or get the part classed as commercial, and the requirement evaporates. Below the line, the government can ask for cost data. The contractor can simply say no. Remember, 2 parts out of 26. And when the Inspector General finds an overcharge, it can recommend a refund. It cannot force one. TransDigm turned this machinery into a business model. acquire the sole manufacturer of hundreds of small, unglamorous parts, then reprice them. The Oversight Committee found increases of more than 25% a year, in some cases, far beyond. Nothing in that sentence is a crime. That's the part most coverage gets wrong. This isn't a fraud story. Almost everything you just heard is legal, and that's the actual finding. So why does the Pentagon keep paying? Because Readiness is a hostage. A missing $10 part grounds a $200 million aircraft. When one company controls the part, the choice isn't pay or negotiate. It's pay or park the fleet. The Defense Logistics Agency buys millions of different line items a year. No army of contracting officers can price check them all, and the sellers know it. Follow the incentives to the end, and you reach the stock market. TransDigm's margins run several times the aerospace norm, and its share price has been one of the sector's great performers for 2 decades. The market isn't punishing the model, the market is the model. Meanwhile, the refunds make headlines and change nothing. 16 million back in 2019, 21 million found in 2021. The repayment is the cost of doing business. The business continues. Congress got its hearing. The company gave back $16 million. Then it made 21 million more, the exact same way. There are cracks forming. The military is 3D printing its way around some sole source parts. The $300 toilet seat lid proved the point. Right to repair language keeps appearing in defense bills, aimed at the data monopolies that make all this possible. And the Inspector General keeps publishing. Every audit a public document, every markup a printed number anyone can read. Episode 10 showed how the Pentagon's budget hides programs behind names that mean nothing. This is the other end of the same system, where the money finally touches hardware, and a soap dispenser costs 80 times retail because exactly one company is allowed to sell it. The black budget hides its numbers. The spare parts economy publishes them and counts on nobody reading the report. The audit is free. The hotline number is public. Somebody used it. That's the only reason you know any of this. Every figure in this briefing came from the Pentagon's own auditors. The report is linked below. Read it. This has been your BBTV Intelligence Briefing. The next audit is already overdue.